Cloud. Shoot.
Okay, as a preliminary matter, this is Veronica Bolchik, Vice Chair of CRC. Please permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. So we've got, hold on here. Joanna Roach. Oh, she's muted.
Joanna, you got to respond, otherwise we still don't have a quorum. So
Yeah.
you got to take yourself off of mute.
Joanna.
Okay, sorry, I'm in the car. Can you hear me now?
We
Yes,
gotcha.
Joanna
Yes.
Roach.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, Linda Williams.
Yep.
All right, Sue Minthinen.
Here.
And myself, Veronica Bolchik. And staff members, when I called your name, please respond in the affirmative. We've got, of course, Jericho Melee.
In attendance.
And we've got Tamika Gray.
Here.
And Heather Nardone.
Here.
All right. And I don't believe we have any anticipated speakers. So good evening. This is an open public meeting of the Contract Review Committee. Is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not ensure public comment. For this meeting, Contract Review Committee is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join in. So please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All materials that have been provided to members of this body are available at the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I have notes otherwise. We are now turning to the first agenda item. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effectiveness and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone, computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For the response, please wait till the chair yields the floor to you to state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please so do through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. For the items with public comment, which we do not have, so finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call. So first item on the agenda is, I guess, to approve the agenda. Acceptance of agenda.
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
Linda, and second by Sue. Roll call. Joanna.
Aye.
Linda.
Aye.
Sue.
Aye.
And myself, Chair, aye. All right, announcements. I'm going to turn that over to you, Jericho.
So I covered a couple of them. So I will scoot through these. Joanna, if there's something you want to follow up on, just let me know. Agenda update, or sorry, initial update. I spoke with WPI. We have been approved and gone through the IRB board. The WPI program director and the students will meet with me tomorrow remotely. And we should have a good idea of what they're going to need from us. And then I'll also figure out what they want in terms of oversight from us. And then after I have that information, we can use that to figure out if we're going to meet regularly for oversight, how we want to handle that part of it. The RFP is out. It is being hosted at the procurement office website, because that puts it into their system and allows them to do batch updates. That looks to be how they want to be doing things from now on. You can still send out copies of the RFP and they can be sent to me. But if people want to get regular updates or ask questions that are centrally answered, they should go to the procurement page, which I will send out tomorrow to all of your members if you want to pass it along. Then the collection date for that is the 20th. Joanna, we proposed tentatively and a date on the 25th, which is the Monday after they're collected, so that we'll have a long weekend to read through them. I'll send the packets out. I'll tell everyone how many we got and and how many applicants and what organizations they were. And then I'll send out the packet like I did last year, which is all the RFPs in a single document, hopefully by the 21st, which is the Thursday before that weekend. Other than that, I don't know how we'll have to try and plan out our meetings pretty quickly. We want to get the evaluations done. The money is encumbered. It can be released as soon as the first approved invoice is sent in. And that's basically it. We're really just waiting on applications and then evaluating and then rendering judgment, and we can get the youth behavioral health grant wrapped up. The next announcement I want to make is I'd like to have a pre-meeting with us before the CRC process starts. And I'd like to have a meeting with the providers so that we can talk about how we want to handle reporting. Other than that, we're really good to go. I just want to have this meeting to make sure that we all are on the same page and that you guys know, the committee members know that Heather and Tamika are going to be stepping in and helping me quite a bit this year, because there's a lot happening and we're doing quite a few changes in terms of the actual process and how we do the back end of a lot of these grants.
Okay, that sounds good. Have we gotten any response so far?
So I cannot see them until they're in the procurement system. So the official requests, I'll know, Elise is going to tell me once a week when she checks the site, as well as if there's any questions that pop up. Based on the RFP we put out, any of the RFEIs we received earlier in the year could go with very minor changes, be turned into RFPs that would meet this format. So I'd anticipate we're at least getting 6 as a lower bound. I've also talked to about 3 or 4 people about the youth behavioral health grant who had organizations that were considering applying since we talked, and I've added them to the mailing list that we have. If you have anyone you think of or anyone we talked to earlier, feel free to reach out and direct them my way, and I can connect them to the procurement page. But basically, we just want to make sure a lot of people are out there and getting that RFP done so that we have a nice selection of things to pick from.
Okay. And so are you saying that we're going to have a meeting on Monday, the 25th?
That is the hope, for us to do that first discussion of all of the different proposals and then break down who wants to or what the need for site visits are for this, and then to figure out the dates for when we have the question and answer sessions.
Okay.
And I think we proposed a 3 to 4 time period. We can be flexible in that.
That's fine with me.
Okay. And that's, I think, all of my major updates. Was there anything we mentioned that I didn't cover?
It's not having to do with the youth behavioral health, but you did give us the
funding announcement.
Overview of the funding of the other.
So
areas.
And that's an excellent point. I should say that on the record, is that it looks very much like, as in 99% sure, that we will not have the cannabis grant this year due to changes in state law, but that a increase in the CRC allotment is potentially in the offering. I don't know how much or to what level, but it does look like we're going to have roughly the same total amount of money to distribute this year, despite the fact we will not have that separate fund from the cannabis grant. I don't want to talk too much more about it until I have more information, but it looks like there's a potential for increased human services spending on the town's level. Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you.
Okay, so then can I ask a question about that?
Of course. I may
There's
not be able to
still-
give you an answer.
There's still the possibility that we could ask for more money.
Yes, we have not had our allotment announced. When we do hear that, that would be when we would have to make a case for a larger allotment. And I think that if we do make that determination, we should do so as part of the contract review committee process. We should do it if we think that there is insufficient funding in there, rather than spinning off this youth, like something like the youth
Yes,
behavioral
yes,
health.
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
that's my reason for bringing this up.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we understand that timeline as a group and can discuss what we would, like, discuss the case and identify those dates that we would need to make up any type of a presentation.
And I am hopefully going to be having someone from finance come in and give us a breakdown of like the cliff notes of procurement for you guys, so that specifically we have a better understanding of how to build our programming out, and what we can do to make reporting easier, and what we can do to make sort of system level information tracking, so that we can be like this WPI thing is specifically so we can get a benchmark, so that next year if we do the study again, we can see if what impact programming for that year has had. We really haven't done any data driven stuff at all.
Right.
So
Do
that
you
is the
need
hope.
any small? Okay, so, but like budgets are due soon,
Yes.
Jericho, and so citizens warrant articles are due in November, and I know some of the things that are being discussed there. But I definitely, when do you have to submit your budget?
So I do not have a specific date because I have not been involved in this process previously. I got informed well after the fact. So I do not know specifically when this has happened to be. I do have a meeting scheduled with Brian for I think middle of next week. And that is where we're going to be doing regular meetings going forward, where we touch base once a month on all of this stuff specifically. And at that point, I'm going to be like, so when I start messaging and when I start doing the deliberations on this youth grant, is there anything you can tell me about what's coming down the pipe? But I don't know how those determinations are made. I also met with a member of FinCom whose name escapes me at this point. Specifically,
Oh, I know who it is. It's Jeremy Bloomer.
Yes. And we had a discussion about this where I sort of tried to explain to him that this is not a philanthropic process. These are core services that we're delivering to citizens that they can't get elsewhere. So
Yes, I imagine
I
imagine there was quite a disconnect there.
yes.
All right, we've been sitting here for 45 minutes waiting to have a forum.
Okay.
I have to get dinner out of the oven now.
Yeah.
Okay, Sue, you had a question?
I had a quick question. Did we paint ourselves into a corner when we asked for this youth behavioral health extra money? Did we promise? I wasn't part of the committee then, but did we say we wouldn't ask for more money or anything like that?
No, we tried. As I remember, the case that we made before the select board where it actually got approved, our specific case was that we needed this money out of sequence from the financial, like the fiscal year. We did not, I believe, make any commitments in terms of allotment. And through that process, we got that's when I believe it was Don who mentioned that more money should be allocated to this, which I think is what got this started. We're not, I would imagine it's going to come in chunks of money that aren't like, I don't think they're doing a needs assessment to determine the funding. I think it's going to be what makes sense budgetarily or round number wise. But we have not closed off the possibility of getting more.
Okay.
I would agree with that. And also the deck has been reshuffled because of the cannabis grant.
Yes.
Right. Okay. But we will have the amount before we do the CRC regular RFPs go out.
I hope to have that amount determined before the youth grants are decided. That
Okay,
is my idea, so that we can use that to inform both what the allocations for the youth grant are, and so that we can message effectively to nonprofits to give them a kind of a scope on what
Okay.
they should be
And
asking for.
Joanna, going back to your point, it's at that point, if we see that we might want more money, that's the point that we ask.
Before November. So ideally,
Yeah.
I'll be getting this information during Youth Behavioral Health Grant. Then we put together our proposal for what we're asking for.
Okay.
All right. In the interests of time,
Okay.
Yes. Jericho, I have a couple questions. I'll call you directly.
yeah, please do. You got anytime tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Anything else at this point? Otherwise, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
okay. Joanna,
I.
Linda,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
and myself, Veronica, I. So meeting is adjourned at 7:04 PM.
Thank you very much. And Tamika and Heather, could you hold on for a half second as everybody dips out? All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
Hey.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Veronica, oh, there you go. Thank you guys for sticking around through that. They're not all quite that catch as can, but they all sort of are. So just so you get an idea of that. Also, that is Linda in a nutshell. Like, I gotta go take dinner. I gotta take lunch at a dinner. Let's wrap this up. All right, let me stop